Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Now, don't tell me you don't hear me anymore. If you do, then I'll refer you to a ear and nose and eye doctor. So we have three whopping people here. And Chandra Kant is here, says, hi, Miran, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, or to you as well. And don't forget to let me know your age, gender, where you're tuning in from. And Dokra Tinsigdamer. Okay, did I butcher your name? Says, Merry Christmas, Miran. Merry Christmas to you as well. And thank you very much. Hope you all will have a wonderful holiday around your families or by yourself, however it may be, and enjoy the good spirit of Christmas and enjoy tranquility, friendship, love, whatever comes to your way, as long as it is merry. And Chandra says 31 male India. Thank you for that. So let's see if we have anyone today who would like to join us for a few minutes before I go, as usual, visit my mom. Tio Pur says, Merry Christmas to you, my dear. Let me know your age, gender, which city you're watching the program. I'd appreciate it. Male 20, Serbia. Wow, that's wonderful. We haven't had a participant from Serbia for a long time. We did in the past once in a while, but not lately. Chandra says I was dating a girl for more than a year back in India, but I moved to Singapore 6 months ago due to job assignment. Okay, chapter 2. While you guys do that, I'll put my phone on charge quickly. All right. And we are back. And Chandra says we were continued to chat and have call online. But lately she stopped talking to me, saying coming to social media makes her what? Depressive, as she see her friends getting married, traveling. Mhm. Well, she's right in a way, and stopped appearing online. What should I do in this situation? Well, number one, that she has a point. Women usually, uh, not all, it's definitely not in North America that much, but there's still amazing number of them here as well. But women usually want a fruition, want a result of their activities and energy they put in a relationship. And what they have been accustomed to, according to their culture and customs, is to get married, to get it somewhere, because they have been, given this understanding that full life to them, it's not my opinion, it's to them that full life is when you get married, have children, and so on and so on, and fulfilling their own natural biological role of procreation and so on, which is very understandable, very desirable, and very natural uh, propensity of a human being towards that being bring into fruition that plan. Every man and a woman, without really much of an influence, would want to have their mate and have offsprings, and that's the nature of the genetic code that we have. Like any other animal, they have that motivation. And so when you are away and it's a long distance relationship, she no longer sees that possibility being close at hand. She figures that if when you were in India, she was in India, I assume she's also in India, things could have changed because it was still one country. Now that you've gone somewhere else, so whether she really sees it as she sees it and she's leaving you alone, or she's using it as a push to make you make a move. And that move would be, and rightfully so, if you like her, show it. Maybe if you love her that much and she loves you that much, and your tradition is frowning upon living together and it's about marriage, well, then what are you waiting for? Go marry her and bring her to Singapore and see how it goes. Didn't work out, divorce. But at this point, if you don't want to lose her, you've gone further out rather than bringing it closer for this long distance relationship. So naturally, she's doing something about it, whether she's pushing you to make a move or she just simply says, well, he's not here. I'm not going to waste my time by just talking on the internet. She wants somebody nearby to get closer and bring it to that stage of marriage. Traditionally, depends on what traditional that certain person in that certain country practices. So you can't blame her. Women are not like us who are waiting and thinking that I have to have everything before I can satisfy my woman. If the woman really loves you, she's really not that concerned about how much money you got now. And you are thinking that you want to score a point and wait until you're rich or wealthy or this and that. Well, then life goes on and nothing happens, and you just wasting your time, her time, thinking that there will be a perfect time, that everything is hunky dory. That'll never happen. There'll always be shit in life. There'll always been ups and downs. There'll always been lack of money, more money, not enough money, problems. So if you're waiting for some specific time and thinking that specific accomplishment would then guarantee that the marriage would work fine, no, it's not. Doesn't matter how much money you have or you don't have. If there is understanding and love, this will work. If there is no understanding, expectations and differences, and one wants to be a feminist and one wants to be different, and they don't have the proper role of a man and a woman in their life. The woman wants to be a man and wants to do whatever she wants, and man wants to do whatever he wants to do, and it's just not going to work. So whether you stick with your tradition and go marry her, or just let her be and find someone that would be close enough to bring it to some kind of a result for her. And Cyper James says, just let her go. Okay, you're talking to him. Okay. And Jesse says, Merry Christmas to you as well, Jesse. Good to see you here. Hope you will have a wonderful, spirited Christmas in the spirit of Christmas, and enjoy a holiday, friendship, love with your family and friends, and whatever good comes to you in this wonderful season. And, I'm not Christian, but I love Christmas, and we've celebrated Christmas since childhood. My mom always, my uncle had a big orchard. His job was, he had I say my uncle, but it was my father's best friend. It wasn't real my uncle. But he had a PhD in chemistry from Switzerland, I believe, or France. But he had decided to, take one of the lands of his father, and it was a huge, huge land, and he turned it into orchard. And so he was living there with his wife from Germany, and it was a beautiful, free, out of the town type of life. And every year he would bring us a small Christmas tree, which my mother had asked for. And so we would decorate it and put, gifts and things underneath it. And it was just a celebration for the spirit of celebration. And it wasn't anything to do with religion, but it was just a respect to one of the, big religions of the world, and celebrating Jesus Christ's birthday. And that was a fun thing that we always did. And so we're accustomed. So I don't care what religion you have, festivities are festivities. Whatever brings love and closeness to humanity, which we really needed this time, the time that we really needed most. These idiots from WEF and the rest of the globalists are trying to portray that they're gods and there is no religion. We should give away, do away with religion and God and beliefs, which is all nonsense. And that's the way to turn us into slaves, which I hope nobody follows. So, having said that, all religions should be celebrated. They all mean well, and whatever the occasion is, we should celebrate them all and help all of us to have good hopes and faith, whatever your faith is in certain religious, representing the God, or your energy, your universe, nature, whatever you believe in. The spirit of Christmas is a representation of spirit of all good things, in my opinion, and all good things deserve celebration, and this is one of them. So, having said that, let's see who else is here, and do we ever get any question today other than Chandra's? All right. It's pretty foggy here. And yesterday it was very cold, but it was a bit of a sunshine out. So I decided in the spirit of the moment, go on a hike that I hadn't gone. It was a good cardio through the forest, and I enjoyed it. I put a little picture of it on my TikTok. No, not TikTok, on my Instagram. So if you guys want to follow my Instagram, please do. I put short versions of, these talks there. And so you might want to enjoy it yourself. My Instagram is Mind Seeks. Mind Seeks. Oops. Mind Seeks. So there we go. And my TikTok is Truth Seeking Mind. TikTok is Truth Seeking Mind. These are pertaining the kind of things that we talk about it here in YouTube. And you guys, I don't know if you guys know about it or not, the site Mind that seeks truth.com is now equipped with group session. So if you guys would like to talk to me, but can't afford the one-on-one Skype consultation, you can choose the button group session, and that's $48, is less than half. And it's not going to be 1 hour, it's going to be 2 to 3 hours, depending on how many people are participating. Maximum 10 people, and minimum we need 3 people to have that session going. So when you register and pay for it, it will come to me as a registrant, and I will email you back, making sure that we have 3 people and confirm it for the time and approximate time and date that you chose. And there could be some changes depending on what it is, and I'll discuss it with you and see how it works for you. And so group session is now available, it's uploaded, it's a change, it's an option on the site since yesterday. So you're welcome to participate in it. And for now, relationship breakups, emotional hardships, thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, questions about the inner movement of the psyche, and the OCD subset, intrusive thoughts and repetitive thoughts, and so on, including HOCD, they're all going to be in the same group session until we see the the reception of the people and how busy it gets, then I might have my programmer switch them, like change them as an option, OCD group session or uh, breakups and relationships and so on and so forth. But for now, they're all together so you can benefit from the questions that others will ask in the group session, plus your own questions. And then we'll have the time, at least, a couple of hours, if not 3 hours, depending on how many people we have and how long we should go. All right. Now, Jesse says, female, 28, Netherlands, thank you for that, says, unfortunately, my 5-year relationship is over and I feel really anxious about what's going to happen next few months. And if I'm able to carry myself when I'm living alone. Of course you can. Of course you can. With whom were you living before your relationship? Alone, weren't you? So naturally, this is no different than something that you've already accomplished. So you can live alone again. But remember, the word alone, as we talked about it before, it means a lot more than it seems to mean. Word alone doesn't mean you lack companion, you're not part of anything. Alone in dictionary in the old times was all one. Spelling was all one, alone, which meant you're part of everything. Alone is not meaning that you're lonely. It means you are part of everything that there is, so you cannot be lonely. So when you say alone, you have to recognize that meaning is really not the real meaning of your situation. You are one with the universe, one with nature, the trees, the ocean, the mountains, the people, everything that exists, the animals. We are one all together. So I'm never alone. If you're aware of your environment, if you include the environment into your own life, if you connect the energy with whatever is out there, good spirit, you never feel alone because nature, universe is all around you and you're part of this universe which has created everything. So you're part of the creation and part of the creator. How can you be alone when you have actually helped all these things grow and develop and you're part of all these things that is growing and developing? So alone means nothing. You're strong because you're connected to the universe, energy of the universe and nature and everything that is in it, and you're part of it, and you're part of what has made everything grow and prosper. So, having said that, that relationship would not have ended if it was the right thing for you. If it has ended, that means you've tried for 5 years, but it simply wasn't working. And if it wasn't working, what better than breaking it off? Why would you want to be in a boat that is leaking and is taking water? The sooner you spark and swim to the shore, the better it is until it's in the middle of the ocean and you have no choice but drown with it. So 5 years you tried, it didn't work. It's time to go to the shore and aim for a different island, different boat, build a new, and go at it again. And she said, I was living at home until age 23. Yeah, okay. But you didn't have a boyfriend that you're living. So same situation. Now you don't have it. So you can do it again. And then you will have a new one. The world is not ended with one thing not working. There's going to be other women around. Yeah. So, I mean, other men in your case. Sorry about that. Says, I've never lived all by myself. Well, it's time to learn it, because once you're able to be in peace with your environment and your schedules, and you create a new order, as we talked about it, what you're missing is not just your boyfriend. That is true. But when you focus on the fact that there were reasons that it didn't work and focus on those reasons, then you would say, well, I wouldn't want to be there anyhow because it wasn't working. There were problems. But the real problem or real reason that you're missing or your discomfort is because mind finds security in order of life. And your order of life was made by the routine of your life, which was made through mechanical processes, things that you were doing during the day. And those things were shared with your boyfriend. Now the boyfriend is not there. So the mechanical processes, the things that you were doing during the day is not happening as it used to happen. So the routine is broken. So therefore there is no order. So the mind is trying to find security in the order, but there's no order anymore. It's not created every day because part of you that was responsible to create that order is no longer there participating. So what the brain does, says, I still want security. Where can I find that order? It's not here in the actuality of life, or it's in the memory, because we are creatures of recording 24/7. So it goes into the memory to find everything as it used to be is recorded there, so it feels secure because the order is there. And the brain doesn't understand the difference between virtuality, memory, and actuality, the real life. So therefore it goes in there and feels safe. And while it's feeling secure, who else is there? Is your boyfriend in the memory, part of the memory. Then when it sees that, the brain, the desire file is triggered open, and all the prerequisite for desire to be born is already in that file. And the brain doesn't recognize that this is a memory file, not just created right now. It thinks that the prerequisite for desire was just created freshly. So it desires your boyfriend. In fact, it is the brain's being triggered by the desire file that thinks is all these things are new and requires for you to be in contact with your boyfriend. Otherwise, there is really no reality for you to missing him when you figure out there was things that were going wrong. That's why you broke up. So the trick is you come back into the actuality, create new hobbies and new mechanical processes, new things that you got to do, create a new routine in your day, therefore create a new order. And the brain says, oh, there's an order in the actuality, and gets involved in the order in the actuality and the sequence of events of your life, and find security in the actual life. Doesn't need to go into the memory to find that recorded order of life. And therefore it's not going to see him, it's not going to trigger desire file to be open, it's not going to be missing him because of all these. And you will get on with your life looking for bigger and better things. And Theo Pure says, I still watch some OCD contents daily. The problem I'm dealing with is that when images pop up and I don't have anxiety, confusion. No. That's exactly what you want to do. You just downplay it and get used to the fact that this is not freaking you. When you don't have anxiety, that means you've already experienced the fact that all these images have shown up, and the brain now knows that even though they showed up many times, nothing happened to you. You didn't change. You didn't become something else. Your gender didn't change. Your inclination didn't change, even though these images popped up. Or OCD, whatever it is that you didn't tell me, they popped up, whatever the images, and nothing happened to you. And therefore, because of that experience that nothing happened to you, the brain has realized this is not something to freak out about. So the anxiety is gone because it is proven to him that it's not going to harm you. Nothing's going to happen to you. Therefore, you no longer are concerned. The amygdala is not sending danger signals that don't exist. Before, amygdala says, oh, that's not in line with his values, and then danger signal must be sent, and therefore it sends then danger signal that didn't even exist. But now it realizes that all these images don't have any power to you, doesn't do anything to you, therefore it's no longer bringing anxiety. So there's nothing to be confused. You just feel that you're going toward the right direction of not giving any importance to these thoughts, and thoughts are just thoughts. They're not something that is a notion that you're changing to something else. These are glitches of the malfunction of the signaling system of the brain and nothing else. And we've talked about it in detail in other videos. And of course, you guys remember, you can always go on my site, mind-that-seeks-truth.com. Make a Skype appointment for us to chat, and we'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. Yeah, but that what you just said, and sometimes I feel like I'm lying to myself. Who is creating that thought that you're lying to yourself? The brain. Which brain? The brain that is already suffering from the glitch of OCD and intrusive thoughts. HOCD. So therefore, the same brain that has the glitch is now judging and interpreting something that it's got no place to judge because it's got no credibility. It's already malfunctioning. A malfunctioning brain is actually interpreting for you, and you're believing the interpretation of a malfunctioning brain about something that you're supposed to be questioning. It doesn't make sense. It's like saying I have a tire gauge, but the tire gauge is malfunctioning. Yet, when it reads what kind of air is in the tire, I'm going to believe it. It's already proven to you that this is malfunctioning. So how could you use a gadget that is malfunctioning, but yet believe its results and its calculations on the basis of what? It's already malfunctioning. Your brain is malfunctioning the signaling system and its interpretations. And it's for the reasons that are known to you at the moment, but OCD and HOCD and all these, depending on the caudate nucleus not working, amygdala being overactive, emotional danger signal is being sent, and there is nothing to match it. Prefrontal cortex goes and finds something that is not in line with your values because there is a signal coming in as danger. So got to put something to this signal and then find something that is not in your values. Says, oh, that's because of this. So watch out for this. So these malfunctions are happening, and the same malfunctioning brain is suggesting to you that maybe you're lying to yourself. Really credible, isn't it? So stop listening to the liar, and that's the brain. Fix the brain. Nothing wrong with you. Jesse says, thank you for comforting answer. You're quite welcome, dear. And Thumberman says, Theo says, I had HOC 3 years ago. And Theo says, now I'm dealing with POCD. Yeah, all of them the same root malfunction of the brain. You don't have to deal with anything. Just watch the ones that we talked about, Dr. Schwartz's 4 steps and all the other things that we've talked about. Let me just fix this thing here. What's wrong with this? All right. All right. And Thumberman says, what do you think of near-death experience from neuroscience perspective? I haven't had the near-death experience, at least not that I remember. So what do you want me to say, really? There is a neurosurgeon who actually had a near-death experience. Actually, he was in coma for 1 week, and this stuff happened to him after he woke up, which all doctors said he's gone. Was quite interesting that he proved that there is an afterlife. And with what he went through and experienced, seems very believable. So you might want to watch that clip. And Theo Poor says, thank you, sir. You're welcome. All right, guys, I'll be here for another 15 minutes. And I got to get ready and go see my mom at the care center. So if you have any questions, fire it up. Maybe 20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes. Well, today gym is closed at 3. So mandatory break for me. Tomorrow is also closed. So I have another day of rest, which I needed. Everywhere hurts. So Theo says, what is the video you told me to watch? What were you talking about? Which video did I ask you to watch, Theo? Oh, the HOCD stuff? Well, I'm going to put the link for you here. That is 4 steps. Dr. Schwartz, which I made a video on it, and you can enjoy it. There we go. There is a video that will explain the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz, expert in OCD, spent all his life researching OCD, and you can follow that. And OGM, male 34, Spain. Hola. I guess that's what they say. Says, hi, Mehran. I broke up a 6-year relationship. Congratulations. It's hard to break. Says, I'm okay with that, but I'm afraid that I'm too old to find a valuable girl to establish without too much baggage. You know, I really got to get that ugly stick some work, because it's been sitting there for a while, and I got to bash it on your head with the bullshit that you just said. You're old, 34 years? You're a bloody spring chicken. What are you talking about? Jesus. Then what should I be saying, 68 years old? Actually, I'll tell you a funny story. Just a week ago, I met this girl, very lovely girl, very fit, and somehow she seemed to be very interested in me, and I thought she's lovely. So we got to somehow, to cut the long story short, she got my contact numbers, and we communicated a couple of days and see each other in the gym. And then we had a talk, and for an hour and a half, it was a pleasant talk, and we both became more interested. And then she asked me, do you know how old I am? I said, I don't really care, as long as you're not too young. And so she was hesitant, as if she was shy. So she told me that she's early 30s. So I said, wow, that's very young, very big difference. She said, how old are you? I said, well, you guess it. You go ahead. She said, I think 50, 51. I said, no, I can't lie. I'm not a guy that would lie just to get some kind of a, interest in some girl. So I said, I'm 68. She said, wow, impossible. You look so fit. You look handsome. You look so buffed and all muscle. I said, well, I lived a healthy life and I train every day. So that's what it is. So we decided to give it a try, see, to be together. And then a day later, she sent me a note and says, I thought that our age difference is so much. I think, there would be expectations of my family and all that. And then suddenly a family showed up. And I quickly recognized that this woman is not making her own decisions. What makes her own decisions is not her persona, her awareness. What makes her decision is the image she has made for herself in her own mind. And that image is based on the content of her consciousness and is bound by the content of consciousness, which is the customs and what people think and what people say, what parents expect and all that stuff. So that kind of a woman that actually doesn't make her own decisions, and her brain, based on the image that she has made of herself in her own mind, makes the decision, cannot be reliable to be a good girlfriend anyhow. So quickly I responded, I appreciate that. And I also came to the same conclusion that we are not the best choice for each other. And therefore, I think we have different expectations and needs and standards. And so we can, as you suggest, we can remain friends, but not in a relationship. This is how things work when you are really old. Which you don't think so, but sometimes you're reminded through these pleasant experiences. So you tell me that you're old, I'm going to kick your butt. And you got to do what an old man like me does. So quickly, right after that, I reverted to other female who are interested in me, and we have a great conversation with the others. And lo and behold, one of them is actually younger than this one. So I don't think there's anything wrong with my age, as long as I am fit, strong. So it is personal choice, and you got to respect that, because you never want to be with a woman who actually doesn't want to be with you for one reason or another, because that's not someone who's qualified to be with you, unless you just want to be someone's, I don't know, beg for something. So you telling me at age 34, you're actually thinking you're old, I'm gonna have to, bring the bring the bring the ugly stick and teach you a lesson. So now the key is you move on quickly and you go onto amazing other beautiful women that are out there and who are actually looking for a man like you rather than thinking that you're old or this and that. I tell you a story from the old samurai story. It's very interesting. It pertains you or pertains my recent experience in somebody who, not knowing my age, liked me and was into me, hot for me, and then the number, the content of the consciousness, the image decides when she figures out the number rather than her own feelings and preferences, which was natural to her. So this story goes like this. There was a village in Japan, I don't know, 1,000 years old, and these bandits would attack the village and take their women and take their chicken and food and crops. And they were mostly agricultural people, working the earth, working ground. So eventually, year after years, they were losing all these crops, and eventually they got tired. They became poor, and they said, "What do we do?" They all decided to go outside the town. Right outside the town, there was a little house belonged to the old man of the village. They said, let's go ask the old man, the wise man. So they went to the old man, gathered around his house and said, this is the problem. The old man says, well, go to town and hire samurais. They all said, well, what do you mean samurais are very respectful and they want money? We don't have money. What do we give them? He says, give them rice. You cultivate rice, plenty of rice, give him rice. So 3 of these village men volunteered to go town and find the samurai. So they went to the town, and any samurai they found, they told him the problem, they told him what they're going to give him, and they got beaten up and they came back to the old man, all torn out and crying and say, what the hell did you tell us to do? How can we offer a samurai rice? Every samurai we found and we asked him to help us, we offered the rice. He says, what do you think? I'm a beggar? Beat the crap out of us. The old man said, go find a hungry samurai. Now listen to this. So you think somebody told you you're old or might think you're old at your age or any age, my age, whatever. Then go find someone who is looking for your age, because it looks beyond that, looks for your availability, wisdom, fitness, attitude, gentlemanliness, and all the other credentials that you have at this age or at any age anybody has. Go look for someone who's looking for that special credentials and will hold it high and above rather than trying to use it as something that is as if it's bad. So you need to find someone who's looking for quality, as amazing quality as you have. All right. Having said that, let's go to Online says she's a gold digger, Mira. Well, no, if she was, she would have. She can be, because I don't have much. And if she was, she wouldn't have used that to go away. But that is a blessing, because I would never want to be with a woman who actually cannot appreciate me as a person, but it has a stereotype and judges things, but the values and the boundaries that have been put in her head rather than the actual facts. Raquel Welch was 50 years old, still much more beautiful and gorgeous than 20-year-olds. So I'd never pass that up. That's for sure. All right. So I hope that you understood the message that I was carrying for you. Tao Pierce says, God bless you. Thank you very much. God bless you. And Majid says, UK from, no, it's a male 37, London, fiancé Iranian living in UK from Kurdish descent. Ah, wonderful. Congratulations. Wonderful. My fiance's father has kicked up a fuss because we have been engaged for 1.5 years and her mom is treating me like I'm a serial killer. I am not ready to get married yet. Advise, please, Mehran June. Listen. You're 37, yeah? What are the chances that you will go another year or two with this girl and then you decide that she's not the right girl? Or she's the right girl, but you get tired of her because you've already been together for so many years. For one reason or other, you break it off. Or she gets tired and she breaks it off. But I think the chances are that you will quickly find another girl that you have so much in common with from Iran, same nationality, while you're living in UK. If you were living in Iran, there would be no problem. Immediately you could find other ones. But being in UK and lack of number of Iranians to fit your standards would not be helpful. And having the chance of finding someone else from the same nationality in a foreign country is not that high. So how long would you be willing to wait to find someone and then go another couple of years before you decide that it's the right girl? You got to figure out if you ever want to get married or not. If you do, well, then they're not really, the relationship quality depends on how you guys really try and compromise and become compatible. It's not about this one can't do it, but that one can. No, this one can't do it because you guys are not compatible. That one you will have other incompatibility with in other fields, in other matters, in other topics. So it's not like you don't want to marry this one because there are differences. There are going to be differences with every single woman that you actually come across with. Why? Because the consciousnesses cannot be the same no matter who you choose. There are always going to be conflicts and divisions. So you got to figure out if this girl has enough things to warrant a marriage, because there's never going to be a perfect match for anyone on this earth to say that there will be no problems at all whatsoever in this marriage because we are so perfect. There's never going to be that. There are always going to be challenges. So if you can handle the challenges that this one has, if it's tolerable, the problems that you guys have, it's not so severe that it's intolerable, go ahead and marry her if you ever want to get married. If you don't want to get married, then just don't. Don't let yourself be pressured into anything. But if she's a good girl, you've been with her a year and a half, you can see ins and out, but you think you don't want to get married because you got tired. You've seen everything she's got to offer, everything, sex and, back and forth, this and that, so forth. It's going to be the same. You spend another year and a half with another girl, you feel the same way because you get to know everything about her, sex and everything. And then you say, okay, I want to go on. So that will continue on from one branch to another branch, just not because there's anything wrong with them, because there's some wrong with every one of them, as there's some wrong in their opinions about us, every one of us. So that's not going to go away. But what's going to go away is that you're just going to get used to jumping from one branch to another branch to another branch to another branch and never get married. And always think, oh, it's not the right one. No, nobody's the right one. The marriage is not that you found the right one to marry. You think it's the right one, but there's always going to be other problems later on. Haven't people been in love and thought, oh, she's perfect, she's perfect, oh, he's perfect, she says, and then they get together, they get married, but they've got so much trouble, they, fight all the time, and eventually they divorce. So what happened? So there are problems regardless of how you feel about it. You say, what you feel at the beginning is not going to be detriment. Is not going to be the evidence for that this marriage is going to be perfect and no problem. Those problems will be there. So if you're looking for a duration of a relationship that there would be no problem to decide, oh, because we had no problem, then that's marriage worthy. No. Even if you have no problem, you can be sure that she's pulling a fast one on your eyes, because there's no way that you can be together for a year and a half. There would be no problem. That means she's modifying every single action of hers just to make it look like there's no problem. Normal people have problems, whether before marriage or after marriage. So if you're looking for something that would show you from the beginning that's going to be a good marriage, that won't exist. You'll never find that. Even if there would be no problem, that's bullshit. So you know her long enough, and what are you waiting for? How long you want to wait for? For what? If you hadn't found this, if you thought there's problems with this girl, but if you like her and everything looks fine and you got to know each other and you're tolerating each other, you have proper roles of woman and man in the family and not these feminist bullshit and so on and so forth, eventually you want to get married with her. Done with it. You know, Kurdish families will kill you if you don't marry their daughter. You know that. Now that you have dipped into the well, you're going to be target. You better marry her anyhow, regardless of how you think. Save yourself. All right. At least make your. All right. So Kasar Star says K 24 from Iraq. K, is that your initial for the? Oh, that's right, Kasar. Okay, 24. You want to say male, right? Male 24 from Iraq. Says, hi, Mehran. Question: 100% sure I am heterosexual, but I have some act in childhood for some gender, and I regret that I stuck in my head with so many thoughts that I can do. What the fuck does it have to do with you? You're a kid. Your childhood. Didn't you shit in your pant in childhood? So you should now think that you're the shit in the pant person? In childhood, people do shit. They don't even know anything. Curiosity, thoughts show. They don't even know what is what. Can't count on any of that shit. Keep it in your mind to do what? Don't be silly. All right. Ohayim says, oh, wow. That analogy was good. Thank you, Mehran. What analogy was that? I forgot. I forgot what the hell did I say. I'm sure there's girl out there. Look, oh yeah, the samurai and Japanese farmers. Yeah, looking. I'm sure there's girl out there that are looking exactly for someone like me and not another kid. There you go. Hopefully, she's a what? Baddie too? Baddie? I don't know that expression. Baddie? All right. So guys, it's 1 hour and 2 minutes and 48 seconds, 49, 50. It keeps going on. So I think it's time for me to mosey on out and leave you guys alone. Merry Christmas to everybody again. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward for our next live stream. Don't forget, we have group session now available at my site. Go and see it, and it's cheaper now that you can all participate. And there would be at least 3 people needed to have that session. But when you register, I will communicate with you on Skype or through email to set it up and make sure that it's confirmed for the certain day, and we'll hash it out that way. And of course, you can always reach me again through my site for one-on-one Skype consultation, and we'll discuss what's your concerns one-on-one on Skype. I might have another live stream tonight because there is no gym, so I'll be home. So you just maybe be on the lookout for any announcement. Did you all get announcements that there's a live? I guess you did, but not enough people get, I guess. So, having said all that, in the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.